Hello and welcome to twitch.tv/LotraStream, youtube.com/Lord of the Rings/live, and facebook.com/Lotro. I am Lotro's community manager, Cordovan, and we are getting ready for day 3 of the Harnkegger games here on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. We're going to have a swim. We're going to have some other pretty fun stuff happening here as well. Let me start by introducing someone from the Harnkegger games. Ponzo is with us. How you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks.
All right, so heading into day 3 of the Harnkegger games, where are the standings?
Well, good question. The elves are still in the lead. I haven't got the numbers with me right now. I think I'm going to have to find those for you.
Yeah, I can actually look that up on. It was announced on Twitter here, so let me go and call that up.
Yeah, but the hobbits are gaining ground. We're just 1 point in first place.
Cool. And tell me a little bit about this upcoming swim that we've got going on.
Yeah, the swim is an interesting one. As a hobbit, it's not very interesting for hobbits because we tend to avoid water wherever we can. But the idea is that you swim from Brandywine Bridge to the ferry, in fact, and we come off on the Marish side of the river. You have to jump in the bridge, which takes a bit of courage. And once in the water, you have to swim. There's no jumping allowed in the water. And of course, no buffs or anything like that. And you have to stay away from the banks. Anybody caught running on the bank will be disqualified.
All right, and this is there's 2 swimming events that take place, and this will be the longer one, and then there's a shorter one that'll happen later on this week as well.
Yeah, there's a swim sprint, which is a much shorter run as well. We had a few problems with water levels. I think it must be to do with the hot weather we've been having recently. So we're going to have to check that the short swim isn't going to be affected by that. But the long swim, problems.
I think I have to have a conversation with one of our developers. Our typical fishing spot had to be moved here at the last minute due to the environmental changes that we've done in recent updates to, the Shire and such. So, but
yeah, you just lost us one of my. So it's very sad. I went there this morning and there was just mud, there's no water and slugs. So yeah, we've had to move the fishing competition.
Sauron's environmental impact.
No, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Be sharky behind. Yeah, it could be.
All right, so looking at the Harnkegger Games on Twitter, which, by the way, is at Harnkegger Games, the Race of Elves are in first place at the end of Day 2 with 8 points, Race of Hobbits with 7 points, Race of Dwarves with 6 points, and the Race of Men with 3 points. Quick reminder, the Elves does include High Elves, and the Race of Men also includes the Bjornings. So
congratulations breaking the duck for getting into the race. So well done, men. Going.
For sure. All right, so then also later on today we do have the fishing tournament that we were talking a little bit about, and we can kind of go into the rules a little bit, I guess, on that later. But this is your basic fishing competition, right? So
yeah, I've been running fishing competition about 6 years. We've got it off pretty well now. It's a very easy game to manage, actually, in comparison to some of the other ones. Very lucky because Simbo of the Grand Order of the Lost Matham developed a nice plug-in for us which counts the number of fish that people catch, and it makes life a lot easier for me. So nobody needs to keep the fish, we just count them as they're caught. A fishing match is 15 minutes long, and we can announce the winners more or less straight away. There are two judges, two fishing groups, and the only difficulty is if we have a tie break, in which case we will count the number of weeds people have caught, and the person with the least weeds wins the tie break.
Nice. All right, so any kind of shout outs on that we wanted to do before I let you go, because we're just a few minutes away here from the start of our first event?
Just good luck hobbits, especially in the fishing. I've had a lot of practice, so we should wipe the board this year, I think.
I actually do have one quick question. So someone might be watching this on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube and being, hey, can I actually do this? Can I log into Laurelin and take part? Some of this they can actually, right?
Some of this? So I missed that.
Oh, some of this they can actually just take part. You don't need to pre-register, for example.
No, just turn. We've got 44. So you do need to talk to one of us when we announce it. There will be a grab for places. The swim is completely open. Anybody can take part. Yeah, just turn up and join in.
All right, and as you can see, we are on the Brandywine Bridge here. So, all right, thank you very much, Ponzo. I really appreciate you being here. Good luck to all the organizers. You guys and gals do an excellent job, and it's always fun to see all the hard work pay off to what so far has really been a smoothly run event here. So thanks again for all that.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
All right, so I will probably turn my camera on here in a little bit. If you recall, my computer actually crashed late yesterday, and I have to reset up my green screen and all that sort of thing. But I'm working on that. And in the meantime, you know, not like it really matters what my face looks like, but I am Cordovan. I'm the community manager for Standing Stone Games, and I am the camera person here for the Harnkegger stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am using admin commands, an admin character, and a detached admin camera that allows me to do some things that you would not normally be able to see for the Harnkegger games. But it's one of the reasons I do this, because it's pretty cool to be able to play around as it were in a live environment and be a TV person here for a little bit. So, okay, we have got the Brandywine long swim happening here in just a couple of minutes, then the fishing competition at around 3:30, and they're going to be, it was going to be at the Marish, but now it's going to be somewhere else here, so we'll just kind of see how that rolls when comes time. We will be doing a few giveaways over on Twitch. Sorry Facebook, sorry YouTube. Facebook does not permit these kind of like Locher Point giveaways just through the chat room there. It's actually against their terms of service here. And YouTube doesn't really have a good way to give that stuff away. So we'll be doing a couple of hundred Locher Point drawings over on our Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/LocherStream. But we do appreciate everybody on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch being here. And look forward to another fun day. We'll be doing this through Sunday. I'm going to take a break with the chatting and just bring you the event. So have some fun, everyone. So I did want to mention, we are putting the archives of all these videos on both Twitch and YouTube. We did run into a little bit of a problem over on the YouTube side of things, where one of the musicians accidentally played Stairway to Heaven, which is a particularly sensitive topic apparently on YouTube, and the video got flagged, so I had to remove it. So the day's archive of yesterday is probably better on Twitch than it is on YouTube, because we ran into a bit of an issue with a very well-known Led Zeppelin song that someone had played during one of the incidental music pieces here. I guess we need to add a no stairway sign to the pre-festival stage. Oh, okay. I want to welcome another guest here. Agent Brigman is here. How you doing?
Hey, Cord. I'm doing great.
Great. Thank you very much for being here. Now, you are normally streaming at this time on Lotra Stream, so we are taking over your channel, your show here today for the Harnkegger Games. Let's, though, introduce you to folks who maybe are not familiar with your stream, who are tuning in just for the event and might be interested. So tell me a little bit about your show.
Well, thank you so much for that very kind introduction. As many people who watch Lotra Stream know, I am an English teacher at the Maine School of Science and Mathematics. So most of my streams involve me talking about school and Lord of the Rings online as it pertains to the schoolwork we're doing with Lotra in the classroom. In fact, you guys were very kind to retweet a video we posted this morning where we were talking about the importance of Lotra as a storytelling medium. So I would say I'm a bit of a brainier streamer, and that stream is usually from about 1 or 2 p.m. till whenever I finish on Wednesdays. I used to try and go to 5, but our community is awesome, so I sometimes go until about 6, 7, or 8 actually.
Sure.
Every Wednesday.
Awesome. All right, and now you don't actually have a character on Laurelin, correct?
I do. I'm this very strange-looking gray-haired man with a feathered hat on.
Okay.
I'm sort of off to the side, so you're in the center. You're the edge of the Brandywine Bridge, which is closest to stock. You'll see a low-level geared newbie that I created last night.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this is a really fun and interesting event, these Harnkegger games. Besides just making for good watching, it's also just a really creative event that Durance Folk and some other kinships have just put together here. I mean, this is year 7 for it, and every year it's so well organized and it just works. It's really, really nice. So
I was super impressed by the scoreboard. I didn't realize how they were keeping score, and when I saw the score, I was like, oh, it's divided by races. So race of elf is in the lead, and then you read it at the beginning of the show. But
yeah.
I mean, I think that's a really interesting way to group the participants.
They do have individual awards as well, with individual records and all that for each event, but it's just kind of a way to tie the whole week's event together into some kind of thing. So it's cool. Yeah. It's
cool, and I have to admit, it is my very first one.
Oh, nice.
I lurked last year on stream. I've never actually been here in person, and I have to say there's something really special about seeing all these people right now lined up on the bridge.
Nice. All right, so this is basically, let me see if I can call up the rules here. I think the rules are being said as we speak, but let me just kind of get into some of the specifics for those who might be curious.
Oh, and I'm seeing something in World Chat about competitors are not allowed to be anonymous. So the officials are able to inspect their character, any wearables, armor, clothing, and jewelry, etc. For undetected buffs.
Yeah, that's right, because they need to be able to target you to make sure that there are no buffs and things like that. So, and all the kind of judges in that are wearing these Harnkegger outfits that we talked a little bit about yesterday, I believe, with someone from Durance Folk. These kind of funky red things. So it's pretty cool.
Those are cute. I don't know what cosmetic that is, but I kind of love it. I know that I'm pretty sure I know what the hat is, but the jacket and the pants are awesome.
Yeah, I don't. They were hesitant to want to say it because they didn't want copycats, right? But I'm curious too what it is that they're using there. I mean, it must be plentiful enough that they can outfit them all with it. So.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. So, given sort of your knowledge of Middle-earth and that, what do you know about sort of the games that were played among the real quote, peoples in the lore of Middle-earth?
Oh, this is such an interesting question. The only thing I know very much about is going to be drinking games, which would take place at one of the public houses in the Shire, or riddles, which we see a lot in The Hobbit and then are alluded to a lot in the Lord of the Rings series. But we did actually have, so Mr. Mike McCartney, who's in the video that we tweeted this morning, he is a medievalist, and he told us a lot about Anglo-Saxon riddles recently. So I know that a lot of those games have Anglo-Saxon roots. They have medieval roots because Tolkien was clearly a medievalist as well. But I don't know anything about, like, was racing a particular thing that they did? Was fishing were fishing contests something they did? It's not something I'm super familiar with. So it may be that this is something the community is appropriating and making their own. In which case, I'm all for that.
I mean, there is the one kind of famous reference to golf, you know, and how golf came about.
Oh, yes,
so we know they
absolutely.
had golf, but, you know, the rest I'm not so sure on. One would assume they had, you know, tavern games like dice games and probably some form of card game or something like that. But
Oh yeah, I do. I love that. I can't believe I forgot the reference to golf. Because I think I always laugh when I read that line because if I remember correctly, that is from The Hobbit, and that's more Tolkien saying a joke to his children to amuse him than I think actually taking it seriously. But maybe someone could come in here and dispute me and be like, "No, golf was a really important part of the lore. How dare you, golf?"
Nice.
So, Cord, what are the sort of protocols here? Like, when do you know? Like, do they count down? And as soon as they jump off, like, what is the objective that we're looking for?
Yeah,
Are they trying to get to the bridge?
Yeah, so that's exactly right. They're going to the Buckleberry Ferry on the Shire side. They're swimming south, no buffs of any kind. They need to touch the edge of the pier, and that's the signal that they've won. The first swimmer to actually touch it with their hand or head on the edge of the pier wins. You can take whatever path you want, but you do need to remain within the riverbank. If you run up onto the bank or something like that, you're disqualified. Again, as I said, no buffs. You can't be anonymous. They do need to be able to inspect your character. You're not allowed to jump at any time other than jumping off this bridge right now. So you can't jump in the water at all, which I imagine some people might do just kind of by force of habit in some ways here.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you said that because I'm a little embarrassed to admit this, but I didn't know the jumping in the water made it faster until maybe the last year. So I definitely did Evandem without a single jump in the water on my main character.
Oh, nice.
I feel like there should be a hidden deed or title for that.
Nice. And so they're doing the countdown now of 3, and I'm invisible on my character. I'm going to do my best to try to stay with the crowd here. I've given myself a bit of a cheaty run speed boost, so I should be faster than them, I believe. But we shall see how this goes. 1.
Okay,
and they are off.
Oh, and I didn't see last year I watched this, and there was someone who prematurely jumped out of excitement.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't see that this time, so unless one of the organizers caught someone, I didn't see someone jump.
All right, yeah, cool. Looks like my camera's going to work real good for this. Now I'm on my actual character rather than a detached camera, because I've kind of hinted at this before, but the thing is the game renders based on your character, right? So like if you change instances in that, then it'll render for your character. But if my character is back on the bridge and they're all the way over on the other side or something like that, it actually can not render. Like the people will literally disappear and all that sort of thing. So I can detach the camera to some extent, but there are limits that I have to deal with here. Now we have someone clearly in the lead here. This is McCarran Willowmere. Assuming that it's there's nothing going on in terms of buffs or you know, issues there, That person is clearly ahead of the rest of the pack, so...
They're definitely
sure.
separated from the pack, too. I wonder if that's a sign that they're involved with the group, the organizers, or if they're actually just like, they're the Olympian of Middle Earth.
It could be. It could be, you know, most of the violations are not intentional. They're unintentional. And that's what we found over the years. You know, no one deliberately cheats or anything like that. But I wonder if maybe McCarran may have an accidental item equipped or something like that. Because that is way ahead of the crowd there.
Someone in World Chat is saying to check his armor, but I'm going to leave that. Obviously, we are leaving that up to the organizers.
Yeah.
Now, is there a plugin as well for who gets to the bank first?
I think they just do a screenshot. They have multiple judges here kind of checking for the touch there.
Hmm.
You do have to touch, you know, the edge of it. Oh.
This is quite something, I have to say.
So I see... Oh, I see a mass. That's why I'm not a judge. I'm going to leave it up to them.
Oh, we definitely had someone get to the bridge. Yeah, someone definitely got to the bridge. So I'll be curious to see what the results are.
Yep. Now, that one person ended up running up on that rock, which is a bit of a tricky thing, but you are not allowed to do that. Because, you know, putting yourself on the rock actually runs you up off the water. So that is actually a disqualification, if I recall past years.
Ooh, something I would have done that. I would have been the person who ran on the rock.
Yeah. They're now discussing they have a Discord channel this year. This might be the second year they've had a Discord channel. But it really helps them a lot to keep everyone organized, and they can discuss things that they need to. There. They have both voice and text.
I'm impressed by the Discord server because I was checking it a couple of hours ago, and that's how I learned that we had the dried up pond. So I think that's a really wonderful space.
You know, I didn't know that was the case until today when the Harnkegger folks were like, what happened to our pond? And I was like, I don't know.
It was incredibly cute. I believe the Discord is open to people who are interested in the event, and it's very cute to see like the interaction between players who are like, I'll see you at the pond. Awesome. Wait, what's happened? There's no water here. Here's a screenshot to prove that I'm not crazy. Now there's no water. What's happening? What is going on? And then I loved your comment about Sauron's effect, global warming effects on Middle Earth or whatever it was. We'll make it lore appropriate. That's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's part of the story.
The non-lore appropriate is, you know, we've been doing a bunch of kind of cleanup work on some of the older areas, and my guess is it was unintentional. They just didn't realize people like to fish there. And so they probably just put in a bunch of fields and flowers thinking, that way they don't have to swim through it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very considerate way to see it. It's like, of all the ponds in Middle Earth, this is the one you want to fish in. But yeah, it's a very cute little story. I appreciate. I also love the before and after pictures, so it's like now part of the event this year.
Yeah. I did let the team know. I was like, you know, the popular fishing place is now gone. I don't know that we're going to do anything about it, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe there's something we can do. Definitely couldn't be done in time for update 23 here, which we're really on the cusp of doing. We have a bull roar going right now on update 23, and that's probably going to be our last bull roar, so we could be live as soon as next week here. Stay tuned, and hopefully I didn't jinx it by saying that right now. But
ooh, I'm just gonna hope that I keep saying 2 weeks every time you say bull roar, so I don't say next week. I say 2 weeks because then you don't get super excited and then something doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly right. Surest way I can jinx something is say, oh yeah, that's totally gonna happen. We're committed, and then people are like, no.
And, you know, I don't know if I was bragging, but I was telling a colleague today that I'm one of the people who does not go on the Bull Roarer site. I appreciate the people who go there and check it out and test things for the team and report back. But I really want that first time in the new area to be immersive and exciting for the first time. So, and I often do it on stream. So I have not seen anything about the 23rd update except for the beautiful image you guys posted on Facebook with the panoramic. That delighted me to no end. I was showing it to my students and they were really excited about it. I believe one said "what," W-A-T, all capital letters. They were quite excited.
Nice.
Oh, Druid, thank you for clarifying. The Discord is actually just for the judges and people who are... I didn't realize that. So I'm going to take back what I said earlier, that the Discord is, if you are interested in the event, you can join that about Harnkegger, but it looks like that is not the case. I misspoke because I'm involved with the stream here today.
Yep, yep.
It was nice of all the hunters to put down these fire pits for us, by the way.
Yeah.
Keep our swimmers nice and warm.
Although it seems like a pretty warm day outside. It seems pretty sunny around here today, so...
Oh, it's always sunny in the Shire.
Yes.
Until we get to the end of the last book.
Sure. It looks like I'm seeing in the Discord chat, it looks like that one elf that was far ahead of the pack was accidentally having some kind of buff or something, so was indeed disqualified.
Very good. Okay, so that
Yep.
clarifies some of our questions. He had a big breakfast. We'll just say it's that.
Yeah, for sure. I was mentioning yesterday, we accidentally got one of our videos flagged because someone played Stairway to Heaven.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And you are very good about making sure we don't play things on the channel we're not supposed to, so...
Yeah. It's an unfortunate reality, you know, the Lotro's music community likes to do covers of songs and stuff, and, you know, no one's getting rich off it or anything, but YouTube's algorithm doesn't really understand, so...
Yeah, because I believe that it probably does fall under a cultural appropriation law or a music appropriation or an art appropriation law. I'm sure there's probably someone in chat who knows the nitty-gritty, but of course a bot or an algorithm, like you said, isn't going to catch that.
Yeah.
But you did remind me, Cord, because we have such a rich musical community, have I told you that our music students at MSSM are currently learning the songs to both the Lord of the Rings soundtrack and the game, some of the songs from the game.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes, I need to message you more details, but we're going to do a musical event in December for the MSSM band, and they're going to be performing some of those songs on stream for us.
Have you by any chance been in contact with Darth Celtics to see if there's any sheet music available?
No, I need to. I know that name, but I should have thought about it. Perhaps you can give it to me after the stream, and I will message them directly. Because the sheet music is, I think, what's holding the music teacher back. He's very proficient and can figure out the movements and stuff by himself. But it would definitely help the kids if we had something ready to go.
Yeah, I don't really know how much of that is just sort of done using, say, software tools, and how much of that is handwritten. So I'm not actually sure that we have it, but it's certainly something we should ask. So.
Absolutely. You should invite Chance Thomas if you're doing any of this stuff too. Oh, Druid's Fire. I wonder if he would come up here. We're in Limestone, Maine, which is you can see Canada from my classroom.
Nice.
So I'm not sure. That's the kind of although we are also in the middle of a potato field, which someone was joking this morning that makes it an actual shire. And yeah, we had a lot of fun this morning with the kids at the beginning of class talking about how much would it cost to build a hobbit hole, put it in the middle of this potato field, and then say it's the Shire and create a tourist attraction to raise money for the county.
Oh, that's a cool idea. I just read on the internet that someone actually did build a hobbit home and is selling it for about $750,000. I can't remember where that is though. It's definitely not in Maine.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say we have a company in southern Maine that manufactures hobbit holes.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But sadly, they're mostly for children because, you know, small people, hobbits, but they're not really for adults. We estimate that it would probably be about $1 million to build something like that on campus. So.
Yeah, you would assume that it's not the least expensive thing. A lot of engineering work involved, I would imagine.
But it's such a simple concept. Dig a hole, put up some windows, some curtains. It's a hole, hobbit hole, right? That's all you need.
Yeah, I think. Uh-huh.
Thank you for believing in me. I'm glad I'm not in charge of these kinds of things.
Yeah, no doubt. I grew up in Minnesota, so when I was a kid up to preteen years, we'd get enough snow, you know, in Minnesota that it would go up against the snow fence, and it was above our heads and that, so my brother and I would actually dig tunnels into the snowbank and that, make our own little hobbit holes. You could pack the sides down enough that you could actually even get some heat going on the inside and it wouldn't collapse on you.
Oh!
Yeah, so...
My sister and I did something similar.
Yeah.
But actually, I think, do we have... I'm looking in chat, do we have possible winners in Discord? I'm seeing some stuff being put up.
I am waiting for them to announce the results, but yep, it looks like that should be happening anytime here soon, because we do have that. The winners have been decided internally here among the judges.
Ooh, I can see the general voice chat. There are many judges, and to be part of that conversation must be very interesting.
Brinley over in our Twitch chat does raise a good point that if you are into Lotro RPing and such, there is a Discord server for Laurelin players and RPers if anyone is interested. I am actually a member of that Discord. I don't know if I can... They have a public link or not. I don't want to out them if they don't have it available, but somewhere in there is actually a Laurelin Discord here. I'm sure we can get a... Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, it looks like there are quite a few people interested in it. So, yeah, that would be great for another part of the community to join. I'm sure many of the people at today's event are also on that server. Now, Cord, do you have a character on this server?
No, just my admin character here.
So no role-playing for you. And you're so good on Court of the Rings with your little role-playing. There are moments where, like, I have to say, for anyone who hasn't watched it, the Bilbo Baggins birthday reading from last Friday was amazing. Just amazing.
Nice.
Thank you, Druids, for permitting that person so they could post the literature stream link.
Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, I dropped it in as well. Yep.
Aw, you got to it right before Druid.
Yep.
I can see her shaking her fist in front of her computer.
I am causing people to get in trouble with the chat bot. I'm an enabler. That's what I am. So, if you can say, what is it that your students are working on right now?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Well, we are about 8/10 of the way through The Hobbit. We just got to Smaug's doorstep, which is chapter 11, and we are also reading Corey Olsen's book, exploring J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit in parallel. So every night they read a chapter from The Hobbit, and then they read a chapter from Corey Olsen's book. And as many people know who go to my channel, just a little plug for what we're doing in the classroom. Whenever you gift a donation or sub, or gift a sub, we end up getting that money, and so that money helped us to buy Corey Olsen's book. Oh, look, there's a winner!
Yeah, I'm sorry, I accidentally missed the winner because I had my camera panned behind the guy.
Oh.
He wasn't in the group, he was behind on the bridge. So I missed our third place winner.
Ceremony.
I know, I apologize, folks. I'm doing the best I can. Anyway, our third place winner is Thorslin. Thorslin is the bronze winner, and then Heartsong is the silver, and we're just now getting ready to announce the gold. The winner of the... Oh, no. Reverse. So, Demnirel is the third place, then Heartsong is silver, and Thorslin is the gold. So.
I just applauded. Of course it's a bare-chested dwarf. Congratulations, bare-chested dwarf!
Well, they have extra buoyancy, right? So...
Yes. Yeah. It's their manliness. And their beard. Creates a natural balloon. That is just so great! Oh, I feel like he deserves it.
Yeah. Nice.
This is quite adorable. Now, do we know what they get when they win?
Yeah. They get generally gold sturdy steel keys, and the winner here gets 500 Lotro points as well. And if they break a record, they get an additional group of Lotro points and prizes as well.
That is excellent.
Yep. It's actually a pretty large amount. Let me see if I can look up here what the actual... Yeah, so the gold medal winner gets 100 gold, 500 Lotro points, and a sturdy steel key. The silver gets 25 gold and a sturdy steel key. And then a bronze winner gets 10 gold and a sturdy steel key. So.
Excellent. And it's good that they're getting the key. I wonder what they're going to have to do next year with the key system going away.
Well, it'll just be the one key. It'll be the black steel key, presumably.
Oh, right. I'm sorry to admit that I had to have quite a few people explain the new system to me many times after even reading the notes from the game. I was like, what's happening to the keys? Where are they going? Why are there keys but no keys? But I think ultimately it's difficult to understand because it's becoming so much simpler than what we have had.
Yeah, we're really just kind of separating it out from the whole in-game equation here. So.
Very nice. Oh man, this is a beautiful... I hope people are screenshotting this. Actually, I should be screenshotting this. What am I doing? So much beauty right here with dwarves.
I am screenshotting this as well for Twitch and YouTube purposes. I got a great one yesterday of a dwarf raising his sword in victory. It was excellent.
Ooh, have you tweeted? You should tweet this picture. You should definitely tweet this picture. Oh, and now we are off, it looks like. I like the description from the people on the Discord. It's last year they all just went as a one big mob towards the fishing hole. It looks like we're off to the fishing hole.
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere a little bit different. Normally they were going to the Marish, but unfortunately the Marish is water-free.
Oh, and look at this. This is super cute. This may be lost to some people watching on stream, but as a player here, everyone has put the insert button on. So they're doing the slow NPC walk. It is super, super cute. It's more realistic. I heard Apulu Felgar, one of our new streamers, a very good friend of mine, one of my favorite dwarves in Middle-earth, if I had to be picky, he decided that there should be a new version of the, or maybe someone in his channel decided this, but there should be a new version of the Chicken Quest where you walk like an NPC all the way to Mordor.
Oh, nice.
or not Mordor, maybe it's Minas Tirith, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, casual stroll to Mordor, that would make sense.
As a chicken.
Yeah.
It's already a 6-hour run. One wonders how long it would be after being a 6-hour run.
Wow, these are some pretty fast-moving waters for fishing.
Ooh. And I do not have a fishing pole on this character. That is fine. I'm not quite sure I have the stuff needed to be a good fisherman here.
But this should work out pretty well because it can spread out along, really in a circle is what they're looking for. It's a way that they can just kind of spread everyone out in a circle to see how much they can catch in a short period of time. Let me actually call up the rules for... Actually, you know what? Let me real quick change the graphic on Twitch here so I've got the right graphic.
Oh, this is very cute. And do we know when they're technically allowed to start?
Yes. They will actually do an announcement when they start, and competitors will have 15 minutes to catch as many fish as they can. They will get points depending on the type of fish caught. They get 5 points for a mountable or trophy fish, 3 points for a craftable or edible fish, and then 1 point for any other fish, minus 1 point for any non-fish, like weeds, rusty daggers, etc. All competitors are going to be in a raid, presumably so that they can see what comes in through chat there, right? So they can only have 44 competitors. They're basically doing 4 judges each, with 11 players there. It's advised to be on time. In the event of a tiebreaker, the competitor with the least amount of non-fish gains a point to break the tie.
Very good.
And the current record is 80 points, set at last year's Harnkegger Games. And then there'll be some music, food, and fireworks and such when they're done here.
Excellent.
I'm actually going to move a little bit away from the water here just to kind of change the audio a little bit so we can hear more nature and less water rushing. This is probably one of the most peaceful events.
So I didn't see the events yesterday, but I understand they were quite wild.
Oh yeah, the fire
what
run jump. They went into Thorin's Hall, and there are the kind of coal pits there, and they had to run across the coal pits barefoot, jump the bridges, couldn't touch the bridges, and they had to jump in and out. They were timed on that. Then there was a cross-country run as well, which was a pretty lengthy run that worked out pretty well. So.
That is cute. That's very cute. And tomorrow, I should actually look at the schedule. What's tomorrow? Trying to explain to the students what we are doing in Middle Earth today is both exciting and confusing. Because I don't think they can understand, like, why would you swim across the river? I mean, maybe. But so it looks like tomorrow is the relay run over in Gondaman. How is the relay run different from, like, say, just strolling around in Gondaman? Do you know?
Yeah, so if I recall last year, the way it works is they need to do an emote from one person to the next that serves as the relay for the event. Yeah.
Ooh, and then a sparring tournament I quite understand.
Yeah, that's just straight up a PvP style challenge.
Which
and that was really exciting last year. It was really cool.
Let's see. Oh, this is the problem of being a full-time school teacher. This is all happening when I have class tomorrow. Yep. I'm very fortunate that I don't have classes on Wednesday afternoon because we have more of a university schedule. So my Wednesdays, I just meet 4 times a week instead of 5 times a week. But man, 3 o'clock tomorrow, I would love to watch that. I wonder if I can justify turning this on in my classroom. Probably can't, but this looks really exciting.
Well, we do have the archives, so you could check out the archives later. You know, we have had a couple of people ask, you know, why is it held during the daytime, and it's because Laurelin is by its core a European server, and so this is the European prime time essentially. They're about 6 hours ahead of Eastern time, so our 3 o'clock is their 9 p.m.
Ah, so this is an evening event for people in Europe. That's something that's important for me to remember, because when I did create my character last night, I thought, man, I thought this was a busy server. I don't see anybody here, and I realize now it was probably 4 in the morning for everyone.
Right. Yeah, it's actually interesting. You know, I'm one of the lucky folks to get to see the population charts, and it's interesting to see how you can kind of tell when people are done with dinner, and then when it's later at night, and then middle of the night kind of a thing. You see these interesting sort of curves that take place.
That is really, really cool, actually. Yeah. That's really cool. And so, actually, Cord, since you do see the population charts, what can you tell me about my beloved server, Crick Hollow? Just curious, because we've been talking about Crick Hollow. I have a T-shirt I'm trying to have made by Christmas that says #Crick Hollow represent, and I want to send it out to people who give donations or something in the channel, because when I first transferred there, I came from Brandywine. As we know, it's a lower populated server than Brandywine. But I don't know, I feel like it's sort of growing, so I don't know if there's anything, and someone did tell me it was the recommended server recently, so I don't know if you could tell me anything about my little...
I can't. The reality is, you know, me gunning into numbers is pretty much a fireable offense. I can tell you the reality is most servers are within a fairly close range of each other, so you don't tend to have one that is super higher than any other one.
That is really good for me to hear. So when people, because I do get people who come and chat and say, Crick Hollow, do people play on that server? And I'm like, well, yeah, there's someone playing on that server. So that's interesting.
That said, I think, you know, there are servers that are, you know, a little bit bigger than others. which
Yeah, and
people can probably figure out just based on activity and things like that.
Sure.
But I can't actually confirm nor deny those things.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. It's
Don't...
as soon as I play on a server, everyone leaves. I just, you know, it's hard to...
I know how that feels. But actually, I noticed how Ponton is mentioning in chat. So Ponton Binberry, who's just an awesome member of our community, he's also in Crook Hollow. It is his home. I see Ponton quite a bit when there are festivals, and I actually creeped on him in Hippold not too long ago. So he's around. Yeah, and I agree with Gumps. It's old info saying that Crick is a low pop because there are lots of players around. So actually, I can go back to my question about the school and what we're doing in class right now.
Yeah, please do.
I didn't finish my discussion, but I just wanted to say we are currently reading Corey Olsen's book, the Exploring J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, which has been really lovely. I've never seen a man or anyone use the word burglarious so many times in an academic writing, and it's really cool to see it put in academic context. And it's really cool to see him write about the Took side and the Baggins side of a Bilbo. So the kids are enjoying that. They actually have been joking that they sometimes read more in Corey Olsen's book than they read in The Hobbit every night, which is cute. And we're actually starting our first major paper, so we won't be streaming the class next week. For people who are interested, we stream Monday through Thursday from 9:30 to, not 9:30, 10:30 to 11:25 Eastern Time, because we are streaming the class, and everyone is welcome to join discussion and the Discord server, which is actually a classroom space. So there are some rules about that I can go into if you're interested. And then they're starting their first paper right now. They have a paper due on Monday for me on the historical biographical implications of The Hobbit in J.R.R. Tolkien's own life. And then after that, they have a paper about The Lord of the Rings Online.
Well, that's interesting. So, you know, I guess you can't probably tell your students what to write, but like, what are you actually looking for on that paper?
I can link it in chat and pull it up from my shared Google Drive. So this will be a public document. You can view it, but you can't necessarily edit it or make suggestions or changes. So just take a moment here. But one of the things that spurred the discussion topic for the paper is that a graduate student had actually written to Tolkien in the 1950s saying that she wanted to write her dissertation on him and write a biography. And he was mortified, to be quite honest. He said something along the lines of, "Though it is a great compliment, I am really rather sorry to find myself the subject of a thesis.
Nice.
I do not feel inclined to go into biographical detail. I doubt its relevance to criticism, certainly in any form less than a complete biography, interior and exterior, which I alone could write, and which I do not intend to write. The chief biographical fact for me is the completion of The Lord of the Rings, which still astonishes me. A notorious beginner of enterprises and non-finisher, I still wonder why and how I managed to peg away at this thing year after year and bring it to its conclusion." And so one of the things that we talk about is that Tolkien is sort of describing his life not based on, the important things that have happened to him, marrying Edith Bratt in 1916, enrolling in the 11th Lancashire Fusiliers in World War I, or even having 4 children. Rather, he's more interested in how his work, The Lord of the Rings, determines his own life. So his life isn't interesting. The Lord of the Rings is interesting because it changed his life. So the students are actually doing a close reading of Tolkien's letter to Caroline Everett and their choice of one ancillary text. So we read C.S. Lewis's The Dismemberment of Power, The Quest Hero by W.H. Auden, Corey Olsen's book exploring J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, and a number of other ancillary materials on his life at Oxford and then his private letters. So they're supposed to pick one of those ancillary materials. Ancillary is just like a fancy academic word for extra or outside the original text. And they're supposed to make an argument for how one of those things reveals that something in The Hobbit is based on biography. And we've got some really interesting projects that the kids are working on. Everything from comparing certain parts of the book to life in the Inklings at Oxford, to the hero's journey and sort of the middle class and things like that. So let me link that for everyone in chat. I do have to make sure my email is not on this, just for, you know,
yeah, privacy reasons.
Issues,
yep.
Privacy reasons, but once I get that ready, I'll drop that in chat for everyone. And if you do want to learn more about this course and syllabus, you can always go to my page. It's just Agent Brigman, so twitch.tv/Agent Brigman. And if you type !Discord, !syllabus, !class, there's a ton of information there on that.
Cool. So, I imagine many of your students take this class because they're interested in Lord of the Rings and J.R.R. Tolkien and Middle-earth. And a lot of people you hear from when you work in the video game industry, it's like, well, so does that mean you get sick of video games because, you know, you do it all day at work? Do you find that taking a class ends up making your love of Middle-earth sort of feel like homework because you actually have papers and such you have to write? Or is the passion enough to really just, you're doing it because you want to?
You know, that's a really good question. I think from my students' perspective, it's really what's sort of missing in their English instruction because they come towards, you know, they come to class every day and they're math and science nerds. And so this is something that really they need. They feel like, oh, of course the video game has literary value, or of course this fantasy world, you know, is richly theoretical and interesting to us. Now for me, if anything, it just makes me even more passionate about my teaching. Someone was sort of, one of our beloved community members was sort of teasing me on a recent stream and saying, I can't believe you were playing that other game this summer. And I was like, you know, there are other games. Just so you know, there are other games. Because my /played total on all my characters astonishes me. And I only came to the game in 2015. So you'd think that I'd be getting sort of tired of it, but I feel like with every character and with every storyline, it's just, it gets better and better, especially when you read or you play the game in parallel with the books. Oh, and it looks like we're also getting instructions here.
Yep, I've got the camera set on Hanso.
Okay, cool.
Hanso is
I just want to make
our
sure.
master of ceremonies for this particular event.
Quite a good-looking hobbit, I dare say. It's a good-looking hobbit.
Yes.
Very respectful.
We have our Hobbit avatar revamp actually happening just this next update, so that could be next
revamp.
week, right? Yeah.
Can you tell me about that? Because as you know, I am a hobbit through and through, so I'm quite curious about that.
It's really, you know, new hairstyles, new looks, maybe slightly more realistic faces, although you have the option, of course, to use whatever you have now as well, so you don't have to use the new one. There are some screenshots on Bullroar if you want to take a look at that.
Ooh, I'm not sure I'm ready for that. Oh, see, I'm always so tempted. Oh, I'm always so tempted, but I want to see things like for when Update 22 came out, I only knew about a couple of tiny things. Like I knew that the Enter Middle-earth button had been changed, that the ring had that beautiful swirly effect. And I think I learned that from watching Druid's chat and watching her sort of geek out over that and get excited. But yeah, I try to limit my exposure as much as possible. I want to be so surprised. But for people watching, I think it might be helpful to say that to keep your old avatar update or your old avatar image before the update, you just click the little box on the Enter Middle-earth screen. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. It's just on character select there. You'll see just a use existing avatar update or something like that.
So it'll prompt you, hey, this is what your avatar now looks like. But if you're like, ooh, I like the way my old character looked, you can just uncheck that.
I think now this is somewhat subjective, and people are going to agree and disagree with this, but my personal opinion on the Hobbit avatar update is it's perhaps a little less dramatic than what we saw with the elves and the humans. Mostly because hobbits were in a somewhat different place to begin with. They were maybe a little bit closer to what we were looking for, perhaps, for a more modern look. But there are some differences. I feel like my Hobbit's
very modern. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
I was just saying I felt like it's sort of surprising that the Hobbit's getting an update because I feel like she already looks pretty adorable. But it'll be very curious to see what that is. Oh, good afternoon, Deathman. One of my beloved viewers is also in chat. So nice to see everyone here. I do love being on the Literature.
I kept on telling the team to have a hairy foot slider in character saves, but they just wouldn't do it.
Oh, that's adorable. Or gross. I guess it depends on how you feel about hobbits. Ah, and they're off.
Yep.
Now, I have a great question that I'm sure people have as well. The fishing rod that you are using, does it have to be a basic fishing rod?
Ready to not see any rule on that. So I'm going to assume not. That you can basically do anything you want.
Because as people who have played the new area know, one of the best fishing rods in the game now comes from Dale. I believe that has a +10 or +12. I think it's +12 fishing proficiency. And the one before that was the one you purchased in East Rohan, which was Snowborn. But I wonder, because if you have a fishing or a rod with more fishing proficiency, you're probably more likely to catch fish. I think is the whole concept there.
I've actually asked in Discord chat, and I'm going to see if I can get an answer. I have an idea. Wow, that's a lot of fishing in one place. You don't see this too often, I don't think.
No. Actually, I should take another screenshot of this. But it's nighttime. Ooh.
Big Ed Mustafa would be proud.
Oh, he would. Somewhere Big Ed Mustafa feels a tingle in Middle Earth. It's calling to him.
Yes, any fishing rod can be used.
That is excellent. So I'll be curious to find out the person who wins this if they have a like a fishing, which is interesting because you think about the swimming, you're not allowed to have any real buffs. You can't have any buffs going, you can't jump. But for the fishing, I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I mean, there is sort of a random element to Lotro's fishing to begin with, so.
I did not know that. I'm sure I understand it when I fish, but I'm not really versed in the way. Seeing as I have not yet finished my fishing deed, but I did get the Lord of the Dreams title. I am not yet. I don't understand how it all works. I need to go back and do all my fishing deeds for each class of fish. Haunton, you got a dace. Congratulations. Oh, this is great. So the NPC who's calling out the
you can see the little fishies in the water.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
This is adorable. Hard to have this much cute in one place.
That's a pretty cool perspective to see fish up close like this. I don't think I've seen that before.
Now a character cannot quite get that perspective, of course.
No,
so we're pretty lucky that we're seeing that on stream.
Yeah, I've literally got the camera detached and I can move around.
Oh, look at our fish.
It is the coolest thing. It really is neat. Unfortunately, like theoretically, if I just went up and up and up and up and up and up, I would crash the server. So there are some limits to what I can do, but I've managed to so far not crash the server. I came close during, I guess it was the 10th anniversary celebration, when I was spawning some things in large groups of people. I might have made things chug a little bit, but so far I've managed to not crash the server.
I remember that. That was such a fun stream. You had like 400 people, 500 people watching.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And you could tell you were having fun because you were dropping all this chaos into the middle of the area right outside Bree. That was great.
Exactly. It's sort of the dream to just sort of go nuts with the admin commands, and you don't get too much opportunity to do that.
And it's fun too because I feel like it brings the community together more when there's a sudden announcement in World Chat that we never ever know when an admin is on, except for that one moment once a year when someone says, "We got 15 minutes record." Go have him shrink you and blow you up and things like that. So much cuteness. I'm just watching hobbits pull fish out of the water. It's very cute. So update 23, looking forward to update 23. Anything else we should know about Update 23? I feel like maybe there's some stuff that I had missed, and people who are watching probably haven't always seen your Friday videos.
Sure. Well, let me actually call up my release notes here and see what I should mention.
Because I know we talked about the keys being changed, and we talked to, well, we didn't actually talk about endgame loot, but that's something I think a lot of people are curious about.
That's true. We are having a level cap increase to 120, so all the attendant things to that. Black Book of Mordor is going to be getting 2 new chapters.
Ooh.
Let's see. The quick elevator pitch is stand with Gandalf the Wizard against Sauron's lieutenants, and beware the weapons of Karazgar, the Weeping Warrior. If you have Mordor, you've got this. You don't need to buy anything for it. And then there's also an adventure pack, or quest pack, called Where Dragons Dwell. It's going to be a journey into the homelands and histories of the dwarves, including the long-bearded descendants of Durin the Deathless. There's an expanded Erebor, where we'll be heading into the Iron Hills, and then we'll arrive in the lost dwarven kingdoms of the Grey Mountains. It is free, of course, to VIPs and Lifetimers, has more than 120 quests and deeds, along with 3 resource instances, a new instance cluster, and probably in a point update, point 1 or point 2 to update 23 will be a new raid. And then the Hobbit Avatar update and the increased level cap. Those are probably the 4 biggest bullet points for update 23 here. For kind of the in-game community, you know, we are doing the work related to loot boxes and all that sort of thing. There is going to be a new tier of Ironfold crafting available. We're making some changes to the way ratings are calculated to kind of smooth them out so it makes more sense and you can kind of see what the numbers mean a little more reliably. Practically, it's going to not make much of a difference to what you do because we're scaling everything else to accommodate for that. So time to defeat, as it were, is not really going to change. Just some of the way the numbers look is. For the Lotro store, we're adding categories and rearranging them so that you can actually see things more easily.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a new featured instance rotation. Two new trait points will be available, one when you hit level 120, the other for completing the new chapters of Black Book of Mordor. Oh, and then the bassoon. We have a bassoon coming for musical instruments. Yeah.
That is, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because in real life we are trying to get a bassoon at MSSN. And the kids who are doing the Lotro music event in December, and they're currently learning music by Chance Thomas, and from the movie, we are trying to fundraise for a bassoon because priorities.
Yeah. Well,
that's
cool.
exciting.
For maybe someone who wants to help, how are you fundraising for a bassoon?
Oh, thank you for asking. I didn't even mention this earlier. We're going to probably do another 24-hour charity stream over at my channel, twitch.tv/Agent Bergman. And it's going to be on campus this time instead of at my house. For people who saw the charity stream in July, the community is always shockingly amazing to me. Because they helped us to purchase a set of 16 chairs and 4 conference tables, and we now have literally the nicest classroom on campus. And we got it all for under $2,400. So that was pretty amazing. So we're looking maybe at raising $3,500, $5,000. I'm not sure about the number at this point because I always feel guilty about asking for money, and it's really hard for me to ask for money, so I'm having to go outside my comfort zone when I do these events because it's for such a good purpose, which is it's for supporting kids who are just richly talented and incredibly kind and just good human beings who they want to learn the bassoon, but we didn't budget for a bassoon this year because it's $3,500. So if you are interested, I will be posting this on social media and on our Discord servers and hopefully mentioning it also on Lotro Stream. It will be sometime, I think, around the 7th of December. And you will be able to donate directly through my page and through, I can't remember what the system is we used. There's a PayPal donation system, but I've found Cord, it's not great because say we made $2,400 in direct donations on Twitch, and those went through PayPal. after PayPal takes its cut, we're looking at another we're looking at about $2,200. Then I transfer that to the 501c, which holds all our donation monies, and PayPal takes another cut. So we ended up only actually transferring about $1,800, $1,900 to the school. And it shocked me when I did that. So I know that you did your son's classroom on that wonderful website. That doesn't give you direct updates. Does that give you direct updates? That's something you could, like, install?
Not to the way that you would for a live stream. It doesn't have, say, like, although I've suggested that they do it, but they don't have like an API for sort of real-time tracking, because it's meant more for teachers in classrooms than live streamers.
Sure. What if a teacher's a live streamer?
I know, right?
I know, blows your mind.
So, Mike, well, it depends on your skill set. I believe I think there is some form of API there, and provided you have the skills to make that happen, you might be able to do something yourself. Or perhaps someone at the school could do that.
That's a really good point. I teach in a math and science school. Why do I need to go to the internet for help? Someone in the building should know how to do this.
Right. So we are more than halfway done to the fishing competition. I believe there's probably somewhere in the range of 4 minutes left or so. And things are going pretty good. It says they might be heading for a record catch. Perhaps moving the location is actually paying off here. The swift current is bringing the fish.
That is so cool. And for people who maybe didn't catch this earlier, the reason we're fishing at the river this year is because a very cute little marshy pond outside a beautiful tree that had been used for the last 7 years or 6 years suddenly dried up. And that wasn't necessarily anything intentional. It just sort of happens. Things happen when games get updated. So we were fishing here this year, and it's exciting. I can't wait to see the numbers.
Yeah, like this. I mean, you're just seeing people just pull fish left and right. So, holy moly, they've got some counting to do.
The hot weather has done us a favor, it seems, to someone in the event. Oh yes, bringing all the fish to the hobbits and people of Middle Earth. And a large crop of weeds, it seems.
No, I'm not going to spawn the Watcher in the pond. I'm not here to mess with the event. I'm here to document it and just have fun.
Oh, yes. And it's so nice of the people here who organize this event. Do we know much about the origin story, about how this event sort of got organized for the first time? I know you were talking with Hansen when I first jumped into Discord. But what's the origin story for this?
That is a good question. We'll have to ask that tomorrow when I have one of the Harnkegger folks on. It predates my time as community manager, so I'm not actually sure what the history is.
And that would be perhaps someone in chat could also fill us in while we're sort of waiting. I'm sure there's a specific group of people here who, if I were to speculate, who are just awesome and like to get together and party and fish. So. You saw it here first, partying and fishing. Isn't it also great that we we play a game where a competitive event is fishing?
I know. The Dwaro Scholar in Twitch is saying, breaking news, there are no more fish in the Shire. Fisher hobbits are greatly upset. Yeah, that's true. They are putting a dent in the fish population here, I think. So, yeah.
And I wonder, what happens to all that fish after the event?
There are a bunch
they
of
have a
dwarves
big
here,
fish?
so they probably just cook them all. And
big bait. Ooh, fish bait. This sounds so good. I can go for some fish now. I'm gonna get hungry. I always get hungry when I'm on stream. I always forget to eat lunch on Wednesdays, and then we get to our Friday, or our dinner time, and I'm always talking to chat and saying, man, I forgot to eat lunch. Now I'm starving. You guys have to listen to me talk about food for about 2 hours.
Nice. Robert over on Facebook, is this all on one server? Yes, this is on the Laurelin server, and it takes place all week long. It goes through Sunday. You can find out more at harnkeggergames.simplesite.com. It's a week-long player-run event, sort of an Olympic-style event where there's all sorts of creative and interesting competitions that happen. Points are being earned individually and for the races. So at the end of the week, one will be able to take home the Harnkegger trophy, as it were. Men, elves, dwarves, hobbits. And yeah, you can find out more at harnkeggergames.simplesite.com. We are streaming this whole thing over on Twitch, up to and including Saturday and Sunday. So It generally starts around 2 to 3 o'clock and goes for a couple hours here.
Ooh, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Lots of fish sandwiches tomorrow? Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god, fish sandwiches. I'm so hungry. This is happening. I have to get up and get a snack after this.
I actually think you're right, Askelin. I don't think even if I wanted to, I could spawn the Watcher. I think you're right that there are some mechanics that are instance-specific there, so it probably wouldn't work. And we're done. Wow.
Nice. Everyone was so good. I saw a couple people with their lines in, but they just, you know, disabled their rods. So nobody... That's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, the judges have got some real work to do, I think.
Isn't there a plugin, though, that counts this? That counts the winner.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're using a plugin of some kind here, so... And yeah, for the folks on Twitch, I have had a couple of people asking, say, Bull Roar specific comments, things like that. Try to save that for Friday's show, Court of the Rings. I really don't want to get into official community answers, you know, as it were, because this is just kind of a fun event that I'm doing for the Harnkegger committee and all that sort of thing. And I don't want it to kind of get disrupted by other sort of discussions and talks about don't nerf this thing, as it were, and what have you. So save that stuff if you would for Friday, and I'd be happy to answer it.
Someone says we need a hunter to put down a fire because someone thinks they just caught a cold. So much water. Fishing late in the night. Oh, and they're still counting.
When am I going to stream a raid, Sammy 2002 SS frequently asks, including right now. Well, technically, there are 4 raids going on. As we speak, there are 4 raid groups that are currently fishing, so I guess the answer is right now.
You're streaming a raid.
Yeah. But yes, I do know what you mean. So the serious answer is I've been very busy, busier than I intended in August and September here, but my long-term plan is to do a show where I bring my admin character onto a world and stream your stuff. So, for example, maybe when the new raid comes out or something like that, I would get permission from certain groups who are like, yeah, stream our raid. And I will actually go in on an admin character and detach the camera as I can and show really cool looks at groups running this sort of thing. It's been on my agenda, frankly, for about a year now. It's just real life has gotten in the way of me really being able to formalize it and make it a reality. But it is something I want to do this year, so I'm hoping that I can do more raid streaming and things like that in the relatively near future. The reality is, there's no reason you can't be streaming raids. We would be happy to promote that for you. You know, get the word out on social media and all that sort of thing. We encourage anybody, regardless of content, to step up. If there's something you're not seeing on Twitch that you want to see if you can't make it happen yourself, and we'll do our best to promote you and make sure that people show up. So.
I would definitely like to see more feathered hats in the game. I think that would be an important change. More feathered hats.
So originally back a year ago, my plan was just kind of anonymously follow groups. And as long as I didn't have any names, you know, attached, as long as if you don't know who the characters are and you don't see any names, does it really matter if they know that it's being streamed? What the answer ultimately is, the lawyer said, yes, it matters a lot, and you can't do that. So I had to kind of change my plans a little bit.
Good answer.
Yeah, so I had to change my plans, and instead I'm going to do a more formal, I'll probably start a forum thread, frankly, which is just going to be, hey, if you're doing something specific and you want to invite me, just drop a time and place and server in this thread, and I'll just kind of randomly pick one or two, or however many I can fit in, probably to an hour, hour and a half, and just call it done.
And you always have an invite to follow around our merry band of hobbits and dwarves over on Hollow. I know that we're talking about doing the new content. We're not necessarily raiders per se, we're more of a casual kin, but we are talking about setting up some days where we actually do the new content on stream as soon as it's out. So people are working, they're saving their vacation days so that we can do that. Oh, and for anyone, I'm getting some invites from people who want to look at the assignment I dropped in stream. I'm going in now to change the settings. So as long as you have that link that I posted earlier about Tolkien Paper 1, you can access it. So I do see a couple people sending me requests.
All right, so Heart Song with a fine catch. Heart Song, 10 beads, nice. Wow, I see all the results here as well. It's tricky.
Whoa! I just looked in Discord. This is crazy.
Yeah. Nice. They gave something to Heart Song for having the most number of non-fish. So it's really going to come down to a tiebreaker because I see the top three all with the same score. So it's going to come down to who has the most non-fish. I think to determine our first, second, and third place.
It looks like we have quite a few people fishing. I'm excited about the results. I'm not going to say them, but I am excited because I just saw what popped in Discord.
All right. So who?
Congratulations, who?
Yeah. The bronze medal for the fishing contest is who? Lord of Streams? From Fenyara Nosea? Fenyara Nosea? That's it. Sorry. Fenyara?
I'm not quite sure myself. I'm the kind of person who accidentally says Kellendim and Sellendim when I'm not paying attention, so I try not to overexert my pronunciation.
Nice.
I know the difference, but whether or not I can get myself to say the difference is a different situation.
Silver medal, sturdy steel key, and 25 gold goes to Rongar. Rongar's picked up several medals here. This competition. That was a pretty funky outfit there, too.
Oh, I love that dress. It looks quite good on dwarves, I have to say. And lore masters, like tall elfish lore masters. It's actually more of a robe than a dress. I should use my words carefully. I love his hat, though.
Yes. Alright, gold medal winner of 500 of Lovelia's outrageously tasty torture points. The gold medal goes to Taunton.
Taunton! So excited. Didn't he win last year?
It's probably no, I think someone else won last year, but Taunton won, if I recall, the music competition last year.
Ah!
Congratulations, Taunton.
And sadly, no new records this year, but
No.
still a grand win.
Alright, that is the end of the event here for today. I'm going to draw the raffle. The Jelly Swagman, Al J. Bookworm, and Telerian 1003. Congratulations, all three of you are going to get a code for 100 Lotro points here. And I am going to wrap up the show here. I will see you tomorrow. Let me scroll up to make sure I've got the times correct. We've got the relay run happening at 2:30 p.m. and then the sparring competition at 3, so about 2:15 or so. I'll be back here on twitch.tv/LotroStream, youtube.com/LordOfTheRings/live, and facebook.com/Lotro. Thank you so much, Agent Brigman, for joining me here today. And you can see Agent Brigman usually around this time, normally on Wednesdays, right here on twitch.tv/LotroStream. Thanks for joining me, Agent.
All right, thank you so much. I will see you next time.
All right, and that is going to wrap it up for the stream, so hope you had a good time. Thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.